Hayden, we live in the mountains of Southwest Oregon. It gets kind of cool here.
Coolish.
Coolish, yeah. Let's talk about your care for elephants, which are a warm climate creature for Oregon climate.
Yeah. So yeah, we can talk about that.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Southern Oregon Safari.
And we're the buffalo roam.
He's Hayden.
He's Jerry.
And that's Susie, and over here's Baba. And we're going to talk about a little bit what we said in the bumper, what Hayden does to help with, hi girl, with keeping his creatures warm.
Exactly. We have a lot of things that we do around here to help the animals stay warm. Obviously, a lot of people think of elephants and these types of animals as warm weather animals. Baba, stop it. And they do enjoy warm weather, but it also gets quite cold, especially in South Africa. It gets almost like Southern California weather. It gets down to freezing, sometimes even a little bit below freezing. But we have a lot of things that we do, different things here to make sure the animals are comfortable all year round in this type of environment. So first of all, we have a heated, insulated building. That's the main thing. And we talked about before, it's heated both with propane and with wood burning, a wood boiler, so we can use nature and recycle the wood off the ranch to actually keep the barn warm. And this barn, it's very large. It's kind of, even though it's all enclosed, it's got a big roll-up door, which is not insulated. It's not a very efficient building. So we have to pump out quite a bit of heat, and that propane, you can burn through a lot of propane. So one of the things that we do is we use the wood boiler. That really cranks out some good heat, keeps this building warm. But the other thing we can do is in the winter months is we want to constantly give elephants baths to keep their skin healthy. Well, if it's cold outside, the last thing we want to do is spray cold water on an elephant. So we actually have a propane burn instant water here that has endless water, endless hot water. We have that mounted on the wall outside. We'll take a look at that in a minute to see how that operates. Lots of people have seen these. They're in homes and buildings everywhere. But this one's a little bit heavier duty, a little bit bigger, pumps out quite a bit. I don't know exactly how many gallons per minute this one heats, but it does a pretty good job. So not only we are able to give them a warm or hottish bath, so when they get bathed, they don't get the chills and they wind up getting sick from that, because you don't want to do that to an animal. But we also, to keep them warm, fill their innards, just like we like a nice cup of hot coffee on a cold day or a hot cup of tea. Well, we give them warm water in the winter months, and that is very helpful, because when you figure an elephant can drink 150 gallons of water a day, if you put 25 to 40 gallons of hot water in their stomach early in the morning on a really cold day, what's going to happen? They're going to stay warm, because you've got that core is super heated now. So they're actually, do really well on a really cold day. You fill that belly full of warm water, they're happy. And it really keeps their body warm for quite a while because they're so well insulated. So that's one of the things. We also mix their grain in the evening time in the winter time. We use warm water for that, because we like to make a nice little mushy meal for it so it's not dry in their mouth. You don't want to put cold water in that on a day that's, say 38 degrees outside, 40 degrees, and blustery, it's cold. The last thing you want to do is give them anything cold. So we give them that warm water. We'll take a look at that water here, how it operates. Right now we're going to have Ken come in and we're going to start watering right now. We're going to give him some warm water. It's a little coolish out today. It's not freezing, but we're just starting to get into winter time here, or fall, shall I say. And we want to make sure that their water tonight that they're getting is not cold. So Ken's going to fire it up, and Susie's going to cheat, and she's just going to start drinking now anyway. I guess she's not ready. But anyway, this is what we do. We use the warm water to keep them warm in the winter months. It's done. Let's see if Bobo's going to have some. Bobo, you going to drink some water right now? It's really not watering time, so we're kind of early on the water, so that's probably why they're going to be more interested in their snacks. But Susie will probably. Susie, you want some more water? I guess they're eating their snack. But anyway, that's kind of what we do, guys. We'll take a look at that unit here in a second and see what it looks like out there. And like I said, I believe that one's a Rhino. I've got one on the rhinoceros as well. The rhinoceros building has the same hot water system, so we can give him warm water in the winter months.
Okay, let's go look at that water heater.
Let's take a look. So, folks, this is the water heater made by Rhino. I feel like we should be making a commercial for Rhino. we have different brands elsewhere. I used to use some of the Bosches, and I like the old Bosches because they didn't require any electricity. The only unfortunate with this one is it requires electricity to run it. It has a digital display down here. Right now it's showing 120 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the max setting that's on it. We mix the water with cold water, so we have a mixing valve. Actually, Ken had produced he made a mixing valve because we tried using the kitchen ones and all that, but they don't last. They split and freeze, and so we just made our own mixing system so we can add cold water as needed. And so we just give them a nice lukewarm water. If it's super cold, we can make it a little warmer if need be. Especially for hot baths, we also want to make it too hot where we scald them because 120 is pretty warm. But their skin is thick and they kind of like that warm water. It helps break up also the dead skin. That's the other thing we talked about is skin care. Elephants require a lot of skin care. Usually in the winter months it's hard to bathe them because of the cold weather. But this hot water, not alone does it feel good on a cold day, but it also helps loosen the dead skin on an elephant. Especially African elephants have a really thick hide and it gets really scaly and thick. So we're constantly using the warmish, hottish water to break up that dead skin.
How often do your girls get a bath?
Well, you try to do it daily, sometimes twice a day if you can, but when it gets cold, it kind of gets hard, and sometimes we're short on time, so we try to do it at least once a day, especially on the stubborn parts of their body, the stuff that gets bacteria in it, like their back, the very top of their back is kind of flat. They like to throw dirt and stuff up there. Well, they can get splits in the skin, and dirt can get in there and get bacterial infections and stuff. So we want to keep that soft and try to break up and get all that dirt off the back. Especially the front of their legs seem to get a little scalier than most of the other parts of the body. Their elbows, their knees, around their cuticles on their feet. You want to wash their feet off every day because they sometimes get urine on their feet, and that urine is very acidic. So we want to make sure we clean that urine off the feet. But yeah, just get the stubborn spots. You don't have to give them a full bath every day, but we try to get as much as we can of the body. That's the most important parts.
Very
Just like
interesting.
when you're a little kid, you got to get the pits, the cracks.
Yeah, I have a tankless water heater in my house.
They're great.
And it doesn't use any electricity. It has a little servo inside that when the water goes up, spins it,
That's what I
it
have.
creates
Is it
the
Bosch?
spark. It's a Bosch, yeah.
That's what I used to use, and they're great.
And then I have these special valve systems that hooked up to it that allows me to descale it yearly.
Yeah, that's kind of important. This really is not going to be scaled. It needs to be but this does not get used constantly. It only gets used when we're giving them water in the cold months. In fact, it sits all summer long without being used, really.
It also depends on your well, on how hard your water is, on how often you have to descale it, as I've learned. I have pretty good water. We do get sediment in it, especially after big storms and stuff, but I've only had to descale mine once in 10 years.
Okay, well, we haven't done this one. Hopefully, I probably eventually need to get it done, but it's been a pretty good, and this is also, I don't know, is yours got a vent on the top?
I vent straight out the roof.
So that one's like designed to go inside of a building. This is nice because these are, you can mount them outside and it's vented on the outside. So this is designed to be outside, which is really a cool thing too. So, and then it's got an element inside of it that keeps it from freezing, but we still, on really cold days, we shut it and drain it because I worry that if the power goes out and it freezes, it's going to split all the inside of this thing. So we actually drain this thing out at night on cold nights. So we just basically all look at our phones and okay, it's going to drop down below freezing, shut it off and drain it.
Drain the tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some things I have to drain on my farm. You wouldn't have to think about it, but when living in the mountains of Southwestern Oregon, it does get cold.
I remember about, was it 6 years ago, we got that 17-degree snap that lasted like 2 weeks, and we couldn't even get plumbing materials at any of the stores because they were sold out.
Sold out,
the
yeah.
whole valley had frozen and split all their pipes.
10 years ago, we got hit with that polar vortex. It went down sub-zero.
Yeah, that's not good.
Oh, it was so
Thank
cold.
God that's
it
rare.
broke. It broke pipes. It's like,
Yeah. Thank God that's rare. 'Cause
Yeah.
that would not be fun here. So, and then we have to prepare for that. Like we have a generator, we have a backup generator and all that. You have to be prepared if, God forbid, it gets that cold again and you lose power. How do you keep your animals warm? You have to think it. So we have a lot of standby generators on the property. We make sure that we're set up for, prepared. When we've had those, also the other thing that this does is we've had some freeze, especially the 17-degree freezes. Ken probably remembers this. We were literally hauling bucket loads of snow, was waist deep. Every pipe on the ranch was frozen. Even though we shut all the hose bibs off and tried to drain them, everything was frozen. And we had twice a day, 3 times a day, we're literally loading buckets of hot water off this thing and hauling to the horses, the bison. Everybody had to have hot water hauled twice a day, and that lasted for weeks. That was not fun. That was not fun. But this thing saved our ass.
oh.
We love it.
I love mine. We haven't had any problems with mine too. So yeah, I know a lot about these, and it's neat to see one installed here on the elephant barn and being used for the elephants.
Send us a couple of these. You know, we can do some commercials for you, Rhino. Sell your product.
There you go, Renai.
I like it.
Get a hold of him. I'm going to leave some links in the end of the show for you guys to be able to get a hold of Hayden. Also, there's a link I've been leaving at the end of the shows that if you guys want a tour of the farm, I'll leave you information to get a hold of the company that's actually conducting the tours. And there's Southern Oregon Adventures, Wilderness Adventures. So get a hold of them and they will arrange the tour of the ranch.
Exactly.
Yep. So this is Southern Oregon Safari.
Where the buffalo roam.
Oh, you're so good.
And they do roam.
I'm Jerry.
I'm Ken.
I'm Hayden.
And we want to invite you guys back to see another episode. You can do that by subscribing, clicking that bell icon. Hey, give us a thumbs up. Do a big favor and share our videos on your social media platforms to help introduce us to your family members, your friends, your buddies, even people you don't know.
Yeah. Strangers on the street. Yeah.
Strangers on the street.
We could use the views.
Well, thank you so much. See you again soon.
Bye-bye.